What's up, Excel fanatics? Verdexes here. Welcome to part 2 of my DGET versus VLOOKUP tutorial. So last time, if you haven't seen my last video for the intro, I highly recommend you take a look at that first, especially if you're not too familiar with the function. So today's part 2, I'm actually going over how DGET might have a bit of an advantage over VLOOKUP. And so in this situation, if you wanted to get really specific, meaning that if you had two criteria that you wanted to make sure that you got the result for, DGET can do that pretty simply. So what I mean by that is, up here is two names for Ted, right? So if the VLOOKUP finds it, if I just look up Ted and the table array and 3, meaning the third being the age, and then false for an exact match, it's 21. But the thing is, there's a Ted here with steak for 29. So it just returned the first answer it could find. So the thing is with DGET, where it has an advantage here, going through the database, lock the field is 3 because it's age, and the criteria, I just have to highlight name and food. Again, keep in mind you have to keep the column headers highlighted for both. So this one picked 29 because it could pick up the two criteria. VLOOKUP couldn't pick up the two criteria at this point. I'll show you how VLOOKUP actually can, but it's a couple extra steps. So if I wanted to make sure I found the Ted and the steak one, what needs to happen is you can use the ampersand. So what you'll see, yes, that's an NA, right? So what actually you have to do, this is like a bit of a workaround, but when it's using the ampersand here, it's actually concatenating the two together. So for you to find it, if you would have to make concatenate, like a whole new column for it. So what has to happen? So that affected my DGET when I included this here. But what needs to happen here is that it actually needs to look up so what happened here, right? So I know I didn't really just talk through that. I made the concatenate, and then reminder with VLOOKUP, whatever you're looking for needs to be in the first column. So I had to adjust the table. So I didn't even include B and C anymore. I had to shift it over. And you can do that just by dragging it. And I shifted it over to make column D the first column, making the VLOOKUP capable of working. And then I had to change the column index number because the data range shrunk, and we're only dealing with 2 columns now. So I made it a 2. And that made this work. So the DGET I need to fix now, because I need to just upgrade this to 4 because there's 4 columns in there. And now you can see that they're both 29. So I'll just highlight that for you. So DGET can much more easily find something with multiple criteria attached to it. VLOOKUP is capable of doing it, but you have to add extra steps to it. So that makes it a little less fluent. But again, from my intro video, you see that the DGET is better for an inquiry, maybe one or two specific things. It's not really good for a whole lot of data at the same time. So that's pretty much it. I hope that wasn't too confusing. But if you guys liked what you saw, please make sure you like, and don't forget to subscribe for some more content. And I think that's it. So thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video.